Hi, most people will know me as Bill the Naked Rod Restorer, and that's because I restore old cane fishing rods and I don't hide anything. Everything's left bare out in the open, and I show them my mistakes and etc. That's why I'm called the Naked Rod Restorer, so get that out of the way. But I had occasion to repair my wife's handheld Gtech recently, and the same fault has occurred on a friend's, and this is the friend's. It's basically the on-off switch. It doesn't matter how many times you press it, it will not activate. Now I thought this was going to be a hard fix, but it turns out it's the quickest, easiest fix you're ever going to find. And basically you fix it with ta-da, this. All you need, a pair of gloves, because you're going to be working with a small screwdriver, and small screwdrivers can slip and go into your hand, which I have experience of. So without further ado, we'll get a small screwdriver, right size. Okay, that's about the size you need. And first of all, you take out the switch unit, place the screwdriver in there, just a little lever, and off she comes, and that's the switch unit. Now you can buy these for between a £5 and 15 quid. Usually they seem to be going at £12.99. But a quick fix without buying a new one, is these are the little switches that are inside the blooming thing. There's 5 in there. You can tell how small they are. I'll just take my glove off for a second. They're an electronic switch, and I used to be an electronics engineer, and we used to get a lot of problems with them on equipment because they got dirty, and that's probably all that's wrong with this. It certainly wasn't my wife's, and that's the switch. I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but they're so feminine, and it's actually the same switch which is in the upright Hoover, which in my opinion, it's only my opinion, is a bloody ridiculous thing to do, because they're so small, and you know, you're standing on the Hoover to switch it on and off, and this is underneath the switch. Crazy in my opinion. But anyway, in here it's not so bad. That's a small unit, and you're pressing it, it's not going down very far, and inside there's actually a spring. That spring isn't doing much at the minute, but if you can do this repair without taking this apart, just in case people. What you do, put this in a bath and give it a good bloody squirt. Just get it in there, get the WD-40 in, and work the switch, and I guarantee you that'll be all that's wrong with that. It'll clean it out. But I'm going to, just for the purposes of this demo, show you how to take this apart. That's probably okay now. In fact, we'll put it back in just to see if it's working, and then I'll take this and take it apart and show you how it's taken apart. You can do this in a couple of minutes. Leave this a couple of minutes and it'll probably clean, but the main thing is to just work the switch with your finger, and that'll give the contacts inside the switch a chance to rub against each other and clean themselves off with the WD-40. And then a final squirt just to rinse it out. You could leave this soaking in a bath of it if you wanted to, but it's a waste of WD-40, to be honest. I think that'll be fine now. I'm going to put it in and try it anyway. So here we go. All that's ever wrong with these switches. We used to come across them a lot, and when I was an electronics engineer, quite a lot of key fobs have got a similar switch in, and that's all it was opening them up, squirting them with WD-40, working the switch to get the dirt out of the contacts, and cleaning it. Alright, so this is the tricky part. If that doesn't work, which I'm sure it will anyway, you can take this apart. I'll just move things to one side so you can see. It's a bit fiddly, granted. You press that down, push at the same time, and press in and push up, and out comes the slide, the cover with the spring attached. Careful not to lose the spring, and there's the switch inside. That little bugger there causes all the problems, but it just gets dirt in. So if you haven't fixed it with the first method, when you take it apart, give it another squirt with a WD-40, rinse it, work it, put it back, and it'll work. I've never I fixed the upright Hoover a couple of times for me and a couple of friends, and I've never come across one that's actually broken, you know, the switch. So that's it back in there. It's going back into the Hoover, off. And that wasn't even going on. Didn't matter how much you pressed it. So that's basically it, and it save you 12 quid. But you know, if you need it and you can't get a hold of one easily, and it's a good little fix. And it doesn't just apply to Gtech Hoovers, it applies to key fobs. If you open them up and give them a squirt of WD-40, it can restore all key fobs, etc. So, well, hopefully that's sorted a few problems for a few people. I mean, it's not always easy to get a hold of the spare parts, and sometimes you've got to wait a while. So my wife swears by one of these. In my opinion, it's pretty crap Hoover to actually Hoover. But when you put this attachment on, it's second to none on settees. So I'm told. Bye for now.